Today we're going to talk about building speed and power for kitesurfing. Hi, it's Sam from Tantrum. This is your first time to this channel, welcome, feel free to have a look around. We're all about, on this channel, improving your kitesurfing when you are off the water. So if you want to supercharge your kitesurfing, even if you don't get out that much, you're in the right place. And just make sure you hit the subscribe button below, click the bell to receive notifications whenever I release a new video. So as I say, today, what we're talking about is how to build speed and power in your kitesurfing. Now, for me, there is one tool which is my absolute secret weapon when it comes to this. But before I go into that, what I want to stress is, look, there are kind of two things that we're talking about here. First of all, we need to make you strong. That is the basis of all fitness. Now, we go through how to make you strong for kitesurfing in our free 4-week kitesurf specific workout, which is available. There's a link in the description below, or it should be popping up somewhere. I always forget which corner it's in one of these corners of the video right now if you're watching on YouTube. Go and grab that, and that will give you the foundation level that you need before we start to do this, because we come forward with that. The best way you can build speed is build strength, and then start specifically building speed afterwards. So what we're going to talk about in this video is how to specifically build speed. So make sure you've got foundation level of strength first, and then, as I say, my favorite tool for this is one of these, a resistance band. These things are awesome. Why? Main reasons I love these things. A, they are portable. How much easier is it to stick that thing in this light thing, 1 or 2, 3 or 4 of these in a bag if you are traveling, as opposed to a kettlebell or a dumbbell, or God forbid, a barbell. It's so much easier, so much lighter, so much more portable, so much easier to stick on a plane, especially if you're going on a kite surfing holiday, means you can actually take it with you and don't have to worry about finding a gym when you get there. So that's the first one. They are portable. Second one, the great advantage of these over weights, or one of the great advantages, is they can be used in any direction. When you think about a weight, the only way, a dumbbell for example, the only way it's resisting you is down. Gravity is a weight, the only reason that it's actually resistance is because gravity is pushing down on it. These things, you can use them in any direction, which for kite surfing is awesome, because in kite surfing we've got a lot of kind of sideways movements, or maybe upwards, downwards, all these kind of twisting dynamic movements that we get with kite surfing, which isn't just about resistance downwards, it's resistance from all different directions. And these things, you can set them up so that you are, you're doing sideways rotational motions, you're doing upward motions, you're doing downward motions. So you've got the entire range of motion there that you wouldn't get with weights, which is just another one of the reasons which I think these things are great. Another reason they're awesome, you tend to get a lot more bang for your buck with them. Why do I say that? Well, let's take the simple example of a bicep curl. When you're doing a bicep curl with weights, all the resistance, or a lot of the resistance, is at the beginning of the motion. So when your arm is fully extended, it's that first kind of moving, that first few inches with the bar, that's the hardest point. Why? Because you've got to overcome inertia. Once you overcome inertia, actually finishing off the motion, for the last 50% of the movement, your muscle isn't actually under that much resistance, because you've got momentum, and your muscle just contracts without really having to put in that much effort. So all the effort is used in the first 20, 30, 40, 50% of the motion. The rest of the motion is fairly simple. And you can see this when you start to get tired when you're using a weight. The hardest part is always getting it moving in the first place. Once you've got it moving, actually finishing the motion off is fairly simple. These are different. Why? Because as you contract the muscle, the band itself stretches further. So it becomes harder to move. So the resistance from the band increases through the exercise. So you don't just get the initial inertia that's difficult to overcome, but then the band itself tenses and tightens throughout the movement as well. So it becomes harder as the exercise goes on. So you are getting full resistance throughout the range of motion. which means you get more bang for your buck, but you also get strength built throughout the entire range of motion. So I find them much more useful in that sense as well, in that you get more bang for your buck. The final reason I like them is because it allows us to train at the speed of our sport. Now, one thing I see a lot of kite surfers doing is they go to the gym and they'll do really slow, heavy reps. And they do it all the time. Now, once in a while, that's great, because I say the foundation of speed is strength, and we want to build strength, and slow, controlled motions is a good way of building strength. But if we're trying to then specifically build speed, and by the way, strength and speed equals power, which is why we're interested in this for kite surfing, because if you can have, power, that sort of explosive motion off the water is very, very useful for kite surfers. So when we're trying to build speed, we want to be practicing or training at the speed of our sport. And this is a huge mistake, as I see a load of kite surfers making, is they go in and they do really slow reps. Well, okay, but when are you doing a slow movement like that? When you kite surf, kite surfing is a very fast, very dynamic sport. We still don't know exactly where it sits, but I would suggest it's, power and endurance. So we want to be building a base of strength. We want to be adding speed on top of that to gain power. And we want to be building endurance around the side of that. Well, these can do all that. You can train at the speed of your sport with a lot less injury. And this is the key, these things, because of the way that they're rigged, you can do them very, very fast as opposed to a dumbbell with good technique, and so really not have the same risk of injuries you would have with using a big weight. So we can really, really easily train at the speed of our sport with these. Very, very useful. So as I say, they're the main reasons I like this. The other one we talked about in another video was, look, a balance board. And it's really easy to add these exercises in whilst you are using a balance board. So you are not just building speed, endurance, but you are also building balance. You're working on those stabilized muscles at the same time. And the risk of injury is much, much lower, because generally what we're doing with these is we are doing a more endurance-based workout, which again is great for kite surfing. So you won't just sit and do 5 reps and then be exhausted. You might do 20 reps at much higher speed. So you're building speed, but you're also building endurance at the same time. Throw in one of these and you're building balance as well. So suddenly, in a 20-minute workout, you're getting so much more bang for your buck than you would from just sitting on a machine doing bench press or doing whatever exercise it is that you are doing. So for that, I really, really love these for kite surfers. As I say though, before you move on for these, the key, the base of all kind of fitness is strength. The base of speed is strength. So the first thing you need to do is work on your strength. Get a general kite surf program for strength, and say we've got one of those. It's in the notes below, the free 4-week kite surf specific fitness guide that will build your general kite surfing strength. Once you've done that, go and grab yourself one of these and start working on your speed, because then that's where you really start to see the improvements in your kite surfing. So I hope that helped, guys. I will speak to you in the next video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I always forget to say that bit. Oh, give us a thumbs up, whichever it is. I'm on YouTube now, aren't I? Give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will speak to you in the next video.